Around the Downs is presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer.
Today's a great day. Guests can now experience this wonderful expansion, the Black Heritage and Racing exhibit. We know this expansion will give Kentucky Derby Museum visitors a more well-rounded perspective on the contributions of African Americans in the horse racing industry.
Going back to the very first Derby in 1875, 13 of 15 jockeys in that race were African American, including the winning jockey Oliver Lewis. So our oldest artifacts go back to that time period, and consequently some of the oldest artifacts in the museum. Isaac Murphy was the first jockey to win the Kentucky Derby 3 times. It's estimated he had a career 44% winning percentage. Jimmy Winkfield's most recent African American jockey to win the Kentucky Derby did it twice, 1901 and 1902. That's around the time the segregation and Jim Crow laws started to push African Americans out of the sport.
Then there was Man o' War, one of the great race horses of all time.
As we get into the 20th century, African American participation in the racing industry did not go away.
My great-grandfather was a gentleman by the name of Will Harbert, and he gained great notoriety with his association with Man o' War.
As his groom of many years, Will Harbert often put it, Big Red, he's a running horse.
Thousands of people came from all across the world to hear his monologue and to see the interaction with my great-grandfather, Man o' War. As a young person with a family in the industry, that was something that I grew up with the contributions that African Americans have made.
So I got involved when I was invited to go to an event at Keeneland with Greg Harbert. We had a discussion around, how can we better the African American experience? We set out with the goal of starting an African American syndicate, really with just trying to bring some awareness about the rich history and culture of African Americans in the industry itself.
Necker Island is the horse. One of the owners is Ray Daniels. Ray, congratulations on getting to the Derby.
Because of COVID, the race to the Derby was extended.
He was a horse that I identified as a horse of having great potential, and if we could sort of tweak a few things, maybe could turn him around and potentially get some Derby points to get the horse in.
We knew it was going to be a big deal because of Breonna Taylor specifically.
Some of the community leaders as well as activists really thought that we should make a statement and remove ourselves as far as active participation with Necker Island.
I just always want the world to know that we support the protesters of Black Lives Movement, Black Lives Matters. We support Breonna Taylor's seek for justice and her family wholeheartedly. But like a wise man told me this morning, we cannot pit protest versus progress.
Ray and I had set out about a year ago to bring more awareness of the contributions that African Americans have made in this sport. We want to get more minorities involved actively in ownership and other endeavors within the business. What better way for us to bring awareness and contributions of African Americans than at the highest stage in racing?
This may be open doors for you to come back and others in the future.
Absolutely. That's the ultimate goal.
We started a nonprofit called the Ed Brown Society to bring awareness, the contributions that the African Americans have made, as well as to create scholarships and intern opportunities for young people. Anytime you can actively come together and collaborate, I think that makes your movement and your efforts that much stronger. I think it's great what Churchill is doing. They're recognizing that there was a need for this.
We've been able to expand it not only by showing more artifacts and having more square footage to do that and share more stories. We're actually trying to get the voices of the African American community within the exhibit as well.
This is more than anyone could ever imagine, and we're very thankful to be a part of it.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment